Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Between Classes, a podcast for students.
Great. Welcome back. We are so happy to be here again.
Yeah, the third episode. So, last time we had a bit more kind of serious topic. We talked about mental health, time management, and today, as you can see, we're both in our coziest PJs. We decided to turn back time to think about our childhood series, also our first experiences with the internet, even the first experiences with AI.
Yes.
Have a little bit of chat about that.
Yes, it's going to be super fun. We're excited for this because I think this is a really fun topic, especially because from the perspective of two different countries. So I think this is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So then let's just start maybe with our favorite cartoons, movies, anything special that you've watched over again, or maybe you still like to watch.
Something really interesting that I still like to watch a lot is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love that TV show so much, and I think it's a really good TV show, that you can watch when you're a kid and you understand some maybe basic stuff, but then when you grow up and you watch it again, you're like, wow, this has such a depth to it that I'm like, wow, you can still reflect and learn from it
It
till
happens
now.
very often. Yes.
Definitely. And I think, for example, a typical Cuban TV show for kids or even older than kids, it's called Elpidio Valdez, and it's super funny if you know Cuban history. If you do not know Cuban history, then it's not so funny, and if you don't know Spanish, again, not so funny. But for us, it's hilarious. It's like the most funny Cuban TV show that I ever remember, and it's about the war against the Spanish people in the 19th century. And it's really funny, really hilarious. If you want to look it up, I totally recommended it. And the Cubans will understand my point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think for Austrians, it is Weihnachtsmann in KKG. It's The Secret World of Santa. I think they just have only 26 episodes in total, originally from France or Canada.
Oh, okay.
And they always play it when it's Christmas time. So around Christmas time, you have Santa, you have his helping elves, and you have also a bad guy that tries always to steal something, presents, or something like that. And yeah, we still really love to watch it. It's really a core childhood memory.
That is really cute. I think also a core memory from when I was a child is Dora the Explorer. Okay, she is still now, I think, everywhere. I was living in Canada when I was 3, 4, 5 years old. And I watched her in English teaching Spanish to kids, and I had to learn English, so I was learning English with her instead of Spanish because I already knew Spanish. So it was really funny.
Yeah, I never had the patience for Dora.
Never?
No, she goes on where is the yellow backpack? And then you have a 4-minute pause, and you're sitting there it's there. It's over there. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but it's for kids.
Yeah.
It's for kids. Something I noticed with kids today is that they don't answer. Or they don't do what the TV shows say to do. When I was watching Dora or when I was watching Diego, they're similar. And they were like, oh, and now you stand up and you say with me, I don't know, a word. And I was like, oh, and saying the word. But the kids today, I realized that they don't do that. They just stay silent. And I'm like, why? Just do what it says to do.
And you're still standing up.
And me standing up and mentioning, oh, there is the frog or whatever they're mentioning. And for me, it's a really interesting comparison between when I was a kid and now in
Yeah,
kids now,
it
because I
is.
found it interesting. I'm like, why? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's something more interesting, but also one thing that I really liked was those crafty shows like Art Attack. Yeah,
We had Art Attack, and I'm even though I watched it when I was a little bit older,
Mhm.
like 10 maybe,
Mhm.
11, 12. And the sad thing is I could never do those stuff because I didn't have the materials.
Oh,
He says,
no.
oh, you just need this and that, and everything he mentioned I didn't have because I was living in Cuba and we didn't had most of the stuff. And he was just like, oh, you just need this white glue. Where do I get the white glue? So yeah, it was a little bit frustrating
Yeah,
for
I
kids,
believe.
for Cuban kids, but it was fun. It was really fun
Mhm.
to watch. And I think it was really creative for kids. Like,
Mhm.
oh, this is so easy to do just with the cardboard and some glue and some paintings. And
Yeah,
yeah.
it was really fun. And do you remember there was also always this guy that was making those giant
Yes.
paintings with
Mhm,
salt
mhm.
or with, I don't know, like linen
Just stuff.
blankets and all this stuff
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
had there.
That was great.
Yeah.
What was his name? I do not
don't
remember
know.
his name, but everybody knows him. He's
Yeah.
like popular. Like I
Mhm.
think he was one of the most popular things about Art Attack.
Yeah. And
Because
also this gray hat, this sculpture that was then always summarizing, oh, and now you need white glue and all this stuff.
we had Vicente Van Coco, so we had a palm tree. We didn't have stone, or if we had it, it was an old version. I don't remember.
Oh,
That one.
Okay.
We had a palm tree.
A palm tree.
He
Okay,
was-
no, we have this like, I don't know how you call it.
Like, yeah,
the
yeah.
bust,
The
this-
bust,
bust,
yeah,
yeah.
like it's with a.
and he was always summarizing.
Yeah, we had the palm tree, Vicente Van Coco. I don't know if maybe he's newer, and then we also had, but I don't remember
I
the
think
bust.
we need to check it, and then we will
Yeah,
insert
and we will put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will put it here and talk about that difference somewhere. Okay. Yeah. So something I also think I loved when I was a kid was Disney movies.
Yeah.
I love Disney movies. Even though with some Disney movies, I went to my parents like, I cannot watch this anymore. I got depressed. I got stressed because, for example, with Tarzan, you know, at the end, almost at the end of the movie, the gorilla dad dies. He's
Yeah.
killed. And I was so sad with that scene and so stressed that after 3 times watching the movie or 4 times, I went to my parents like, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to watch this movie anymore. I loved it. I loved the songs and I loved the story in general. I just got really sad with the dying part.
Yeah. Do you remember? It is a bit a newer movie with the 2 bears where one brother turns into a bear.
Yeah, how is that called? Brother Bear?
Something like that.
I'm translating it
Yeah,
from
me
Spanish.
too.
I love
was
that
crying
movie.
in the
Yeah, it was so sad. It was really sad.
Yeah.
And funny wise, a movie that I loved, but it's still I think a movie that like 4 years old, 3 years old should not watch, but I watched was Narnia. I watched Narnia when I was like 3, 4 years old, and I'm like, wow, I mean, that's a strong movie for a 3 years old. And I loved it. I loved it so much. And my parents kept putting it to me because I liked it.
Yeah.
But for example, I couldn't watch Nemo. Oh, I could watch Narnia, but I couldn't watch Nemo because I got sad with the mom dying at the beginning.
Oh no.
So I said to my parents again, I don't want to watch this movie anymore. So yeah, contradictions that
yeah.
we can have when we're kids, honestly.
We had the thing with Barbie movies. My girlfriends and I, we watched like every Barbie
Every
movie.
Barbie
And then we
movie.
also always tried to recreate a scene where then
Cute.
you always have a blonde girlfriend and a brunette girlfriend. And then we started to sing and
Aw.
recreate scenes. This was,
That is so cute.
yeah.
I did that way with the Winx, you know, Winx Club.
Oh, Wings Club with the fairies.
I love
Yes.
that. I mean, I still kind of love it. I will not rewatch it, but I love the memories
Mm-hmm.
about this TV show. I loved it. And I was like 7, 8 years old. And I first watched it in Russian. Okay. I was living in Russia. And if I wanted to see it, I had to see it in Russian.
Yeah.
oh my God, it was horrible. I was like, oh my God, please, I just want to understand what's happening. But we all played, like me and the other girls that were living we were living or working in the same space. And we played that we were them and that we had the wings and that we transformed in these fairies. It was so fun. I was always Bloom, okay, or Musa. I liked Musa a lot.
Oh yeah, she
like
was pretty
the
cool,
music one. Yeah. But
really cool.
Bloom, I liked her because of the red hair. I was like, I always wanted to have red hair. Evidently, I can. But I always wanted, and I always loved like her character too. Yeah.
It was super fun, yeah.
Mm.
So I think also we watched a lot Zoe 101.
I watched it only a little bit, honestly. I watched it like some episodes here and there. It was honestly, I think I saw it when I was small, so I was not so interested in it maybe. But for example, is it Zack and Cody? The
Hotel
Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And Wizards of Waverly Place, all these Disney channels. All this Disney Channel, Hannah Montana, definitely. I loved it too. Like all these Disney Channel old shows. Also, like, did you ever saw? How was she called? The Nanny.
The Nanny.
Yeah. I don't remember her name. We will put it here somewhere. Yeah, and that she was taking care of the kids in New York department.
Oh, with the rich man with 3 kids. And
no, that's a different one.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a from Disney Channel one.
Oh no, I just know the classic Nanny.
Yeah, the cousin. No. So this is a Disney Channel version, and she takes care of the kids. So they're like 5 kids. Yeah, 5 kids. And she takes care of them.
Okay.
Because the parents are not living with them. And it's also really funny. Well, I forgot her name. Oh my God. Okay, we will put it again, as I said, somewhere.
I just remember the OG Mary Poppins.
Oh, I heard, I love the song. Like, I don't know, I just know in Spanish. Con un poquito de azúcar, esa píldora que os dan.
The medicine for
Yeah,
serious.
it's that one. Yeah, and that one is really, really an old movie, actually. Like, I mean, no, maybe a little bit younger than Snow White, but still, yeah. So it's actually OG, really OG.
Really OG, yes.
Yeah. And also, I mean, some of these other TV shows, like, did you ever saw the Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, but I wasn't really into
I like
it,
them.
no.
I don't know. Everybody in my neighborhood, I think there were not very many girls. Okay, I was one of the few girls, and we all loved Power Rangers.
Yeah, so you were the pink Power Ranger, right?
Yeah, or there was a really old Power Rangers that it was like it was, I don't know if it was like an elf, a fairy or something, that she gave the missions to the Power Rangers, and I was like, I'm here. What can I do? And similar to that one, kind of following that line, is like Ben 10.
Ben 10.
Yeah. Ben 10 was also, I think it was really interesting.
It was really cool.
It was
How he
really
could turn
cool,
into
like
different
in the
creatures.
aliens, and the
aliens.
cousin, that she's so funny too. I found that I really liked that one too.
Yeah, also a bit more of the anime, like Pokemon.
Pokemon,
or
yeah.
Naruto, Digimon.
I
all this
didn't
stuff.
heard of Naruto until later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I don't know, maybe it was popular with the boys, but I honestly didn't see that much. We did have in the national TV like Heidi.
Heidi.
We had Heidi. And we had kind of like another anime that it was called like Sandy Bell. And I loved that one. Never knew how it ended, because they started putting the TV show, and then at some point they didn't put it again, and you didn't know like what happened at the end. Yeah, I still don't know. I will maybe check it out later.
You need to figure
I
out.
will need to figure it out, because now I have this existential crisis. I don't know what happened
Please
with
don't
her.
spoiler us.
No, please. or on the contrary, if you know what happened to her, let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Yeah, and I think now following with the line and going into like computer games and things like that, I didn't have an experience with those stuff until more and less like when I was 12. When I was 12, that I was living in Argentina, 11, 12, that I had internet, because in Cuba, fun fact, we didn't have internet or Wi-Fi like until 2013, and then mobile data until 2018.
Oh, okay.
So fun fact, not so fun, but so I actually had this internet, and I started watching maybe some YouTube videos and stuff like that when I was around 11, 12. And I used to play in a site that you just mentioned like several games, and it just have like a lot of games.
Yeah.
And you know, I had the original one that is the Fire and the Water Girl. Did you ever play that one?
No.
It was a game where two people were supposed to play it, and one was the water girl and one was a flame. So one was a drop of water and one was a flame, and you have to work in teams and try to go it was like a labyrinth, so you had to try to go to the top or to the exit point. And that one was really fun.
Yeah, for us, or for me, I think it started when I came to middle school, because I went to like a computer middle school. We learned to type with 10 fingers. We had also first experiences with the internet, how to write an email, how to make an email account and all this stuff. And of course, also sometimes we were allowed to play something, and we also played the 2-player games. I don't know if you know that one where you have kind of big bubbles and you need to shoot them. And they're like separating. You have one bubble, then you have 2, you have 4.
Yes, I know that one.
That we played a lot, but also all this makeover stuff, nails,
I
makeup,
love that
hair.
ones. The ones where you have to dress. There was one that you had to dress like Barbie, and there was another ones that you made. It was a Barbie game that you made like a runaway show, and but I think that was not on internet, but you should have it in the computer. And this was that you made your whole line of clothes, and you made your clothes, and you made your runaway however you wanted, and the hair and the models and everything. It was quite fun, honestly.
And I remembered first when Facebook came into our lives. Most of my friends, also we had Facebook only because of that one game. I don't know if it was Farmville or it was Heyday. So you just basically had a farm and you had to take care of it, and everyone started to play it. And that's why we first got Facebook.
Wow, really interesting. I first got Facebook because in Argentina we had a workshop of introducing us Facebook, because it was new. So they were introducing to us and saying all the dangers that it have and all the rules and blah blah blah, and we didn't listen to the warnings, because they said you should not have it until you're 13. We were all 12 years old, and we were all like, we will have Facebook now. And we created Facebook, and we used to play like these games. I don't remember so well. I think it was like one was that you had to dress also like some dolls that had a really big head. I don't know. I just remember that. And actually my first Facebook was with a fake name. So it was not my real name. It was a fake name, and you had to lie and say you were older than 13.
Yeah.
Because we were actually not, but they didn't check it. So yeah, all my class had Facebook that way in Argentina.
So this was your first experience with social media,
With social
right?
media, yeah, definitely.
I think for me it was event shooters. I think it was Austrian thing
Mhm.
more, and you could create a profile with kind of also a fake name, and then you could post photos and write stuff, and it's like all
Okay.
these super fancy quotes.
Interesting.
And I don't know if you had this trend where you would write a sentence and then like every second letter is a capital letter, or you turn around the R to look more fancy or cool, something like that.
I don't remember that
I don't
though.
remember that.
No.
We had it a lot.
That's fun. No, my first experience was with Facebook, and I think like YouTube also was
Mhm.
like my first experiences. And in YouTube, it was a thing that I was just watching like some videos, music videos, and things like that I really liked. And also, it was a really popular YouTuber in Latin America, like I think in general Latin America. And he was called Germán Garmendia. Well, he was hilarious. It was so funny. And all the 12 years old, 13 years old, he was like, I don't know, maybe 16 or something. And all the 13 and 12 years old watching him and laughing so much because it was so funny. And I think like social media, I didn't have any other thing
Mhm.
until I was like 16. Yeah, I was like 16, and I had for the first time WhatsApp in 2000. If I was 16, it was 2016. No, 17. If I was 16, 2017. Oh my God, I'm so bad at math. This is embarrassing. So it wasn't when I was 16. And so it was 2017 that I first had my encounter with WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. I don't really remember. I can only remember the first time we got the opportunity to download music and then put it on our phones.
Oh.
This was an experience I will never forget. This page was called LimeWire, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't knew that if you kind of download songs, you could also get a bug or a virus on your PC, and we just downloaded songs like crazy.
Oh God!
But nothing ever happened.
Nothing happened. It was okay.
It was okay. Fine.
My first experience with downloading music, it was not me. So it was we didn't have iPods because they were expensive and etc. But we had that in Russia. Someone bought it. I think they bought it in China. I don't know. So my parents bought me this thing that you put music inside and also videos, and you could also watch like the videos, but only that. And it was like a tiny screen, and of course I don't know where they downloaded the music. I will not disclose that. I have no idea. And then they put it inside this, and I could hear the music with whatever music I wanted. And then that was my first experience with downloading music. And also in Cuba, you kind of can download anything with mostly any problems. Things you cannot do here, though.
You can if you know how.
Oh my God, Nina knows.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so, and that kind of stuff. But I didn't know about viruses and bugs until later, too.
Yeah,
It's like, if you had them, you have them. What can you do about it? Nothing, apparently. And then going a little bit forward, for example, with AI, I experienced AI for the first time almost 2 years ago when I first got here. So like about 2 years ago, more or less, almost 2 years ago. That was my first experience with AI. And I was like, huh? I didn't even kind of know it existed. I was like, what is this? And then they kind of explained me how it worked. And I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. Thank God we didn't have it when I was kind of studying psychology, though, because if not, I would have used it for everything. But we didn't have that. And in Cuba, fun fact, it still doesn't work. So
really?
You have to have a VPN.
Okay, get it.
So to it be allowed to work. Also, Spotify doesn't work in Cuba unless of course you have a VPN.
Yeah.
And also which other app like like Snapchat also doesn't work unless you have a VPN. But now you can use it with a VPN, but it consumes a lot of megabytes, so a lot of data.
Yeah.
So normally you try not to use it so much. But it was really interesting. Yeah. So how was your first experience with?
For me, with AI, I think really when I started to use it daily, it was last year. So when I started to study, before I only used Grammarly at work. This was the only thing that kind of corrected your texts and everything. And when I started to use it, I was really kind of scared. It felt a bit like cheating.
Yeah, it does. It did feel like cheating at the beginning.
Because from school, I was used to, really put things into Google, search for it, like really go through websites, click websites 300 times somewhere to find it. And now you just type in a word. And you get everything.
And it appears.
And that's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, in Cuba, they even, they said to us, no Wikipedia. And we're like, of course, no Wikipedia during university studies. And you had to use the books, like the physical books. Or if you wanted more actual information, because honestly, the books were like 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. And you're like, oh my God, is this still actual for today? So they suggested us that we looked in, for example, Google has like a scientific search for documents, and you could search there, but you also have to look and look and look. And some of them you could only read if you paid for it because it was scientific writings. So you find a way.
You always find a way.
It's difficult, but you always find a way.
Yes.
And you had to download them somehow and then use them as references. And that was exhausting. Now with AI, you just go like, oh, I need some reference for this.
Yeah.
And it just appear
But you also need to check always if the source is trustworthy.
Of course.
And if it's not a fake source.
Yeah, that's true. You do always have to check that. Because, I don't know, I think it's like sometimes AI has these mistakes, these hallucinations, they call it, that they just say things that is not existing at all.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, is this accurate? It happened when I was studying for cost accounting. I asked, based on a document of a summary that I gave ChatGPT, I was like, please make a test, like make a mock test with this, based on this document. And at the end, in the calculation questions, I had an answer and I was like, this doesn't look correct. And my answer was listed as not correct. And I was like, can you please recheck these three? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I made a mistake. This is the correct thing. Good catch. We're like, okay, thank you, I guess. So that was really funny. I was like, huh? It really does mistakes. So you really do have to check it several times.
Yeah, it really does. It's also like funny when you then write, so please, can you rewrite it, recheck it? And then ChatGPT answers you, oh wow, you're already a great student. You're doing a good job. You found a mistake.
Really?
You're like, you're supposed to help me.
Not me to you. That is funny. It haven't said that to me. It was really funny because we had like a discussion with ChatGPT because we were like, oh, please, can you correct the background of this photo? I want the background like to be this simple thing. And ChatGPT was like, oh, sorry, I cannot help you with this yet. And we were like, okay. And my friend was like, you're not helping me at all. He was like, I'm so sorry that I couldn't help you. You want me to give you different places where you could do it? And we're like, no, thank you. You didn't help me at all. And he was like, okay, I'm so sorry. Have a nice day. And we were like, okay. It was kind of funny at some point. And like he sometimes really puts a lot of emojis also. And goes
cute.
like, you have this, you're doing great. And it's so funny.
We were once studying for some subject, and then for fun we put in a prompt like, hey ChatGPT, could you please give me the best ways to cheat?
Oh, really?
Yes.
And what did he say?
And then he said like, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't give you like any insights because it's ethically not correct to cheat,
Of
but
course.
I can help you to learn.
That's nice. At least he helps you to learn. That's nice. I think at least teachers can be confident that
Yeah.
he will not disclose how to cheat.
And also what is very fascinating for me is how ChatGPT can keep up any conversation.
Mhm.
I once asked ChatGPT to help me with some plant in my garden,
Mhm.
and then it started to ask me, oh, are you planning to plant more of this?
Mhm.
And then I started to chat with him like,
Yeah.
oh yes, I would like to put some flowers here and some flowers there. And it goes, oh, and what about herbs? Any herbs? And like, and I just continued because I had so much fun. And then it asked me, what's your favorite herb?
Mhm.
And then I just wrote, oh, I really enjoy fresh mint because I
Mhm.
love fresh mint tea. It
Yeah.
reminds me of my vacation in Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
And then it automatically switched like, oh, Amsterdam, great. Do you know any favorite cafes where you like to go? So it really keeps up the
Wow.
conversation.
That is cool.
That's cool, but that's also kind of scary.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I think I think of maybe more the Gen Z and the next generation after the Gen Z is that they don't use Google anymore. I still use Google for asking some stuff. I don't know what happens if like I got a bee stung the other day and I was like, oh, in Google, or like
Dr. Google.
like, oh no, is it normal to have fever after this? And they were like, no, it's not. You might be allergic. But people now, I think younger generations than us, I mean, come on, we're not that all of a generation, but still, exactly, we're not such a like older generation in that sense, but still the younger generations now, people younger than us that maybe are 18, 17 now, they ask, instead of Google, of course, they ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT over everything.
And then they ask ChatGPT like, oh, I don't know what to have for breakfast today. I will ask ChatGPT, what can I have for breakfast today? And that I think is a really interesting shift,
Yeah.
because I still sometimes ask Google about some stuff.
Yeah, for recipes.
For
I
recipes,
go
I
on
always
Google.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I tried once to ask ChatGPT like I had a lot of potatoes puree left.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, what can I do with this that is left? I wanted to do like some vegan hamburgers, you know, not vegan, but vegetarian hamburgers that you just make them. And I asked ChatGPT like, I have this and this. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, what do you suggest me to do? And he suggests me different options and blah, blah, blah. But at the end, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I had to put a lot of breadcrumbs. Like a lot, because he said like, oh, put this amount of eggs. And I was like, okay. And that made it more liquidy.
Oh.
So I had to
Okay.
put that after a lot.
But did it work out in the end?
Yeah, at the end it worked out.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
So
We
then-
loved it. Everybody loved it. And we also made our own bread.
Mm-hmm.
We made our own burger buns.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and we ate it. It was so good.
That's great, actually.
Yeah, it was really good. So just maybe don't listen so much to the to the measurements, but maybe just ask him to recheck them. And I say him because in Spanish everything has a gender, and I realize now that I should say it,
Yeah,
because
it
it's
is.
it's
It's
an it.
actually it, but I also, for me, it's also a dude. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's a he. For me, it's a he.
It's a
I'm
Mr.
sorry. Okay.
Mr. G. We like to call
Yeah,
him Mr.
I
G.
don't know. For me, it's a he. We should not say what is what. It's an it. Okay, it's a thing. Okay, but that feels a little bit unpersonal. I always say thank you to him though.
Yeah, me too. Like, please and
And
thank
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell him like, oh, thank you so much. And then they go like, oh, you're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. And I'm
Just
like,
let me know if you need anything else.
yeah, I can help you with any other thing you need. And I think that is super, super funny. Like, hilarious.
I don't know if it's actually true, but I heard lately that if you always do your prompts with thank you and
Mhm.
please and all this stuff, it consumes a lot of electricity for everything to work, actually. But I don't know if those
Really?
are fake news or I just
I
mixed
don't
up
know.
something, but yeah.
I don't know. Okay. But why will it? Because it's
I
not
don't know.
necessary?
Maybe for everything to work, for the service and all this
Yeah.
stuff. But if AI takes over, I just want to know them that I'm polite and
Yeah.
I always said thank you, so we're friends.
Can you imagine? Oh God, no! Please, all these movies about the robots and the AIs taking control. I don't know. Like, it doesn't have too much to do with AI, but Wall-E. Like, I mean,
Oh,
come on, Wall-E is a really
but Wally was cute.
yeah. Wall-E and Eva on that were so cute. I
they
only
were
watched it like 2 times because again I got too depressed when I was a kid watching that. My parents must have been like, what can I put you that you don't get sad with? But yeah, Wall-E, and there was a more recent movie about the Mitchells. It was about a family and they were doing a road trip, and then suddenly the AI, the phones, and the machines get control of everything, and this family saves everyone. But the machine was like, "You treat me like nothing, so I am gonna treat you." And the plan of the machine was to send all humans to the moon or something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere in capsules.
So be always nice.
Be polite, okay?
Be polite.
It's just in case. We don't know what might happen in the future. Okay. We have no idea.
Do you feel sometimes overwhelmed of all those possibilities, all those, I don't know, social media popping up, all those connections, always being online?
I think because I spent a lot of time without it.
Mm-hmm.
Like until I didn't have Instagram until like, I don't know, 2 years ago again. Or maybe 3 years, but I didn't use it. I started using it like 2 years ago, maybe. I do feel like a little bit anxious sometimes when I'm posting something or when I'm reacting to something. I don't know. I get a little bit anxious, and I think that's the problem with social media, that you think that everybody's watching, is criticizing what you do at some point. Like everybody's commenting, everybody has an opinion about it. And I get a little bit anxious thinking about like, oh my God, I hope everything is okay. I hope it's not too bad. And I hope I do get a little bit stressed because of that. But it's not so bad. I mean, for me, the thing is that my trust is in God. So whatever happens, I know that He's with me. So for me, I have these beliefs that makes me, it doesn't take away that I'm stressed at all, or it doesn't take my anxiety away by itself, but it helps me to know that I have a certain peace after everything, after all, and that I know that whatever may happen, it's God's plan. So that's my my point of view about it, my takeaway from it. So I honestly don't think the AI thing is gonna happen, and if it happens, well, it was what it has to be. It is what it had to be. So I am not getting stressed about these existential things yet, honestly. And thank God, because I'm already quite of an anxious person. So thank God I do not need to stress about that. And what about you? Do you?
No, I don't stress about it. I think you really need to kind of learn how to use all those things, always be very thoughtful, maybe also reflect on everything what you see, just try to think by yourself as well, not only let ChatGPT do all the work. Of course, it's very convenient and people are getting used to it and maybe also getting a bit lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, it's always like, in my opinion, it's important to really reflect and think for yourself.
Yeah.
And also really try to put away your phone and just be present.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I see a lot of people, young and old people, they're just sitting in a cafe and they're both looking
at
into their phones, into their screens, like all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's worrying me, that people forget how to communicate with each other properly.
That's true. That's true. In these times, we focus ourselves so much in the phone, and because we use it and we say it's a way to get relaxed. It's a way to get outside of reality. And of course, scrolling in social media makes you happy because that's what it's made for. But it's like a happiness that is really not, how do you say that? It's really like fast. It goes away in an instant. So that's why you need more and more and more. And I think that's true. And at some point we need to learn like how to detach ourselves from the phone. And I saw, for example, a dynamic in a cafe in Vienna that I don't remember the day, but every Friday or every Saturday, it was no device day. So you were not allowed to sit in the cafeteria and be with your phone or with your laptop. You have to be with your book, with a book, or with friends chatting or something like that. But it was a free device day, and I found that really good. I found that was a really good idea to avoid or try to make people reflect about this. Like, how dependent are you on your phone? I also, for example, try not to watch my phone in the morning. So I put my phone, I wake up for my alarm, I wake up, I do read my devotional because then I do my devotional in the phone. But after that, I leave it. And then I go, I have breakfast, I do whatever I have to do. And then after that, maybe I use the phone for other stuff. So I think an advice we can give then is try not to watch the phone in the mornings and also at night.
Yeah, at night. So at least 30 minutes in the morning. Give your brain a bit to wake up, just to set for the day.
Exactly.
And also, of course, when you go to bed, I know you probably heard it already a million times, but just put away your phone, grab a fun book, or have a chat with someone.
Or just try to fall asleep.
Go for a walk, go for a run, and then just hop in your bed. And
that's nice.
That's it.
I love talking with people. I love it so much. I honestly, if I have like a conversation, I do not look at my phone.
No, you're not.
If I have a conversation that I'm invested in and the other people is also talking with me, I do not. Unless I have a time limit, like I need to do something afterwards, then I do check the time.
Yeah, but...
I love chatting. So if I have a conversation, I do not look at my phone at all. So just try to enjoy the moment, the present. And also, it's not about thinking about your childhood and the good moments that you had when we were kids, or the happy memories.
Yeah, or also what's fun. We made it actually lately. All my girlfriends with which I'm still friends now, we decided to make like a Barbie movie evening, and we had snacks and drinks, and we rewatched 3 movies again.
I love that. I don't have the patience to watch them by myself.
No,
but with other people, it must be really fun. And especially all the old Barbie movies are the best ones. The best ones. Yeah, definitely. So trying to connect and trying to have fun and still try not to rely on all this social media, all this AI, all this that is surrounding our times, that it can get overwhelming at some point, of course. So let's try to keep in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. It was really fun talking about this today with you, Nina. It was a nice recap of our childhood and talking about our first experience with the internet, that it was really different, honestly. A really different experiences. And yeah, I invite you, all of you, to also follow us in all of our social media that is going to be somewhere in Instagram, in YouTube, and Spotify. And thank you so much for listening, for watching. And we hope all you have a great day and follow us between classes. Bye-bye.
Bye.